Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees. I see fire.
Oh, look, it's Bofa. No, that's not Beaufort, that's Philly. God damn it. I will never figure them out. I know Thorin. Thorin and Killy, because Killy is my favorite. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Hunter Loves Voiceplay podcast, Geoff edition. We are going to get into a highly voted video from Instagram poll of Geoff Castellucci's cover of I See Fire. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a cover, because everything that he does is like not a cover per se. It's his own arrangement and his own style and his own take on the original song. The dwarves are back, baby. They're back. Yeah, it's been a while since we had seen them, since Misty Mountains, which was a couple years at this point. Yeah, seeing them come back was super, super fun. And I was like, well, what other song could he possibly do that, you know, has to do with dwarves and whatnot? And sure enough, it was I See Fire from The Hobbit. And I was like, oh yeah, I forget about that. Well, because I haven't watched the movies in forever. So, you know, this month I'm definitely making a plan to watch those movies again. I'll probably only watch the two. Because I think I only have the two in my ownership. So, I don't think I have the third one. Maybe I can find it on like Hulu or something like that. Like not Hulu, but one of those services anyway. Yeah, so Geoff's arrangement of this, I mean, it always blows me away. I don't know what he's capable. Well, like I don't even know like what he's capable of doing with some of these, and he always makes it his own and twists things. And holy crap, is it getting super hot in here? It's summer and it's getting super hot here. It's going to be in the high 30s all weekend, so that's fun. And yes, and happy Canada Day. This one was recorded on Canada Day as well. I also did Golden Hour before this, so, you know, I'm doing I See Fire as well, because I have the time. So, I See Fire. So, I See Fires. So, dwarves are back, and, you know, just at the very start, we hear wind. And he's used this before in some of his arrangements, I think, but also in some of his narrations that he has done as well. So it was always good to pinpoint that sound right off the bat. And it's like, you don't hear much of anything at the beginning. You just hear wind. And then he comes in with "Oh misty eye of the mountain below." And we're already in the basement, because Thorin is starting off with this. And it's like, oh boy, here we go. It's just, we're in the basement already. You know, we're not even 5 seconds in here, and we're already just, my whole soul is just getting rumbled. Geoff actually did a live recording of that one, and where there was no post-production and no, you know, audio fixes to it at all. Damn. It just sounds so good. And I'm like, dude, you don't need any post-production. I mean, seriously. Like, you're hitting those notes like well, like, you're in the studio, but you just don't have the post-production that goes along with it. But it's so clean and so rumbly, and I love it. Oh my god. It's just, I love it, because it just shows that when you take away all of the post-production stuff, that it's raw. It's like, you know, it's just raw vocals, and it gives me so much more of an appreciation of him as a musician to be like, hey, this is what I sound like without any post-production. Like, I'm not going to tweak my voice to where it's like, you know, completely not there, but it's like just to give you guys a taste of like what I can do without post-production, and it rattled my brain. This one's definitely one of those ones where it's like, if you have a headache and you need a good antidote for it, just listen to that one. Oh my god, just the video is amazing. They're all, you know, sitting by rocks, because it is a lament. Like, the song is a lament, and it's talking about like, well, if we die because we're going to go fight a friggin' dragon that's, like 100 feet tall and we're only yay small, we may just die. And it's definitely a lament, and Geoff put a lot of emotion into it, as he always does with the more emotional songs. The minute that Killy starts singing, the character of Killy, which is kind of like the main, kind of like the main Geoff, I would say. Oh, it's just it's like almost over for me, because it's just like he's just in that higher range. But then wait for Bofer. Oh my god. Wait for Bofer. Jesus. It's like Geoff just gives you everything of his range in this one, and it's just like, dude, give me a moment to breathe. And not only in the video is he looking super sad, and I don't know if it's the lighting that's making his eyes tear, but his eyes are getting super glossy, and I'm just like, I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm gonna freaking cry, because I hate seeing any of them get teary-eyed like that. Like, even if it's on purpose or if it's not on purpose. It's just like, don't do that to me. Don't do it. And then there's beautiful, like a beautiful transition between the first verse and then into the chorus. And beautiful piano that follows, and it's super haunting. Like, it's not like a haunting piano, but it's just super light and breezy. And it's like, holy crap. Like, musically, I'm like, whoa. Like, that piano just ties in. Like, it just gives you an emotional kick to the scrotum, I'm gonna say. And it's like, oh. I mean, if you don't have a scrotum, you have one now. But Jesus, like, it's so super haunting. And like, it's like Thorin is like, well, I see fire inside the mountain, burning the trees. Like, we're all gonna die. This is not gonna be fun for us at all. And then like the piano kind of picks up, and the humming. Ugh. I love me some Geoff hum. Let me just say that. He could hum all the time. He could hum the phone book, and I would just sit there and just listen. I mean, and also going back to like Mortius's reaction of it, he was just so emotionally wrecked, and I completely understand that, because he gave me shivers. Geoff gave me shivers with this one, and it definitely, like I've said before, it takes a very specific musician in order to have that happen to me, where it's like I'm sitting there and I'm itching, because it's so darn good. And yeah, there's the beautiful piano, and we get into the chorus. It is a long video. It's 5 minutes and 29 seconds. So he definitely went above and beyond for this. And it's just beautiful. And my god, like the transition too. Like, well, Killy gets into kind of like into the chorus as well. Okay, so sorry. It was Killy that gets into the chorus first, and then you have that transition, and you go from like this forest green to the red transition. Beautiful job done by Ellie. Like, lighting setup, and he just made it red because fire, right? And I'm like, holy crap, like that's just, and then there's that crackle in there too, and I'm like, okay, like he's getting closer and closer to ASMR territory, because this is tickling everything in my head. And going back to like Mortius for a minute here, like he suffers from ADHD. Like I completely understand how everything that would be happening in here would just be a sensory overload. And I've discovered that too, that it's like I become sensory overloaded, and but with this, it's just like I'm gonna have to watch this 100 times in order to appreciate it enough. And not to mention the beautiful arm vein that is sticking out of your arm right there, sir. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so it's inside the mountain, and like it's just all red, because it's like kind of like the premonition of like, I see death, I see fire. And the harmonization with himself, oh my god. And because I go ahead and I do captures of these, just because, I feel like it's like appreciated to go and get some screenshots, but some of them were in like a softer focus. But now that I realize it now, it's like, I don't know, because, like, I don't know if it was, like, just part of, like, the final product, whether it was part of the rendering, where it was part of the whatever. But the soft focus just kind of gives it a little bit more meaning, because it's just kind of like, oh, this is a little bit softer. But, the lighting gives it that same feel. That it's like, yeah, things are going to happen. Yes, and then we get into kind of the second verse. And oh my god, we're in the higher range here now with Bofer. And Geoff does not get enough credit for his high range. I don't care what he says. I know he's a bass, and I know that he says that he doesn't like doing the higher parts. That he really has to work on it. But it's like, I don't care. Your higher range is gorgeous. Stop it. Stop, being self-depreciating, because it's never going to work with you. I will argue on this topic till death. That's what I should have done. When I set up for this, I should have turned on all of my LED candles and just give it a little bit more of like a cabin-esque feel. But then I wouldn't be able to see what I was doing, so then that would have been difficult. But yeah, so now we're into Bofer territory. And it is Bofer, and he's singing the high parts. And he is just... even he has his good share of runs in this. And it's so beautifully done. Oh, it's just a breath of fresh air. And it's kind of ironic because Canada has been having its fair share of wildfires. And when this one came out, people in New York were telling me that it's like, yeah, our sky is like orange because it's filled with smoke. And I'm like, whoops. So it's like, I'm sorry that I had to give you all my fire. I see fire. So it's like, oh god. But I also find it's funny that it's like kind of like icy fire. Like it's like icy, like ice. But, at the same time, it's like, no, I see fire. I see. Hello, Thorin. Oh, just his gorgeous high range. And like, he goes an equal way of like high and low in this one. Like, it's like, he's like, as the flames burn on the mountainside. And then he's down into the desolation falls upon the sky. And it's like, oh god. It's like, here we go. Just, it's not balanced anymore. It's like, whoop, 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 whoop. But I guess it would be called the bridge. Ed Sheeran, beautifully written song. His performance is always good for this one too. And, gotta love Ed Sheeran. Who doesn't love Ed Sheeran? I mean, seriously. And all that crap that happened, just with the whole copyright suit thing that happened, I'm like, come on. Don't get me started on that. But, yeah, once we get into the bridge here, let me see. Oh, and even when he starts saying, like, I hope that you remember me, like, he'll have one person say it, and then the other three come in the background harmony. And it's like, oh, God. It's like, I will remember this. Like, don't get me wrong. And then we get into, so 338 is where just my favorite part of this whole entire thing. Like, I've played this probably 100 times by now. And I've even sung it myself because it's like, it's just so fun. So it's like, and if the night is burning, I will cover my eyes. And if the dark returns, then my brother shall die. And if the sky is falling down on this lonesome town. I almost went into German there. Fun fact, in the BTS, Geoff goes German. Once the sky is falling down upon this lonesome town, I hear the people screaming out, the dicey fires. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, but this one, it's just like, he just gives it his all, because he's at the top. Oh my god. And it's kind of like that moment of like, we realize that it's like, this is the end. Like, we're going into this. Like, there is no coming out of this. Like, we're going in and we're not going to come back out. So it's like, why not, sing something before we all die? And even the backing vocal of the bass right there is just, wow. I just wonder how sweaty he got in all of that clothing. I would have thought that, like, he would have sweat more in Bopher, but when you look at Thorin, I mean, he said that he got very sweaty with Thorin, which, is completely, understandable. And then it's like, with that shadow upon the ground, I hear my people screaming out, and he's just like, and I see fire. Like, he's just there. And it's like, holy man. Just, it hits me with things. Like, I think the first time I heard it, like, when the Patreon release, I think I cried. Because I was just like, oh my god, Geoff, like, what are you doing? Like, why do you do this to us? But I love that, because he brings out so much emotion. Holy crap. Where I paused it right now, he is giving me the sternest look right now. It's like, everything you're doing in this podcast sucks. Like, stop what you're doing. Sorry, Bopher. Sorry. But yeah, it's just like, and he kind of like gets not into like that Rocky moment, but he just, like, again, he brings it a lot forward and into the forefront. And those harmonies, oh my goodness. And then we're back into the forest green. Oh my god, did he just stab his leg? He did. I didn't pick up on that the first time. He just like, Philly took his little tiny knife and just stabbed himself in the leg. God. And he's like got it stuck in his leg. Oh my god, I didn't. But again, I mean, he's like, I don't know what to do with these weapons. Stabby stab. Oh, and then there's a whole bunch of high harmonies right there. Then it's like when it gets to I See Fire. Dragon Breath from Thor. And it's like, God. I'm like, yep, there it is. Like, it's just like, there's that moment. Oh, God. It's the most replayed moment on YouTube right now. And I don't blame it, because it's just amazing. So we're back into the red. Oh, that's another good transition right there by Ellie, because it's like, I see fire, but also on fire, the transitions to the red again. Like, we're going from green to red. And it's like, oh, love visual masterpieces like this. It's just, and I think we kind of stay with the red aura, because it's like, oh no, we go back to green, and then it's like, and I hope that you remember me, and it's just like every person gets to say it, and it's like, oh. And then there's that concreta from Piano Book, and the only reason I know that is because Geoff told us. Yeah, he was gracious enough. That's what I love about Geoff too, is that like just those little tiny things that he does. It's like he played a little bit of the sample from I See Fire for us, and I was like, you didn't have to, but thank you. He did it. So yeah, at the end of it, it's called concreta. That sound at the end, it's called concreta from Piano Book by Context. I think is what it is, and it's like KONTEXT. I think took me forever to find it, but I found it, and then I fell into a rabbit hole of Piano Book. And I'm like, I need to, like, that's the thing. It's like, I need to learn more about arranging so then I can just appreciate it more, you know? Like, I'm learning music very slowly. Like, I don't feel like my appreciation for the arrangement itself. I don't think I've dived deeper enough to appreciate it as much. And then, like, the ending transition of this video is just like, you go into the dark. Like, dark and a little bit of red. And it's perfect. Just perfect ending. It's super good. Super, super good. Unpopular opinion, I like this one a lot better than Misty Mountains. No offense to Geoff, his Misty Mountains is awesome, but I do like I See Fire a lot more. I think just probably because of the lyrics in this one, because like, but also Misty Mountains hit me at a time where it was like, everybody was doing it, so then I just got bored with it, you know? And even though, like, Geoff did an amazing job with his version of it, you know, tip the hat, I couldn't enjoy that song anymore. Yeah, because, like, everybody on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you know, it was just everywhere and anywhere. And I think one of the other things that drives me insane is that it's like, I get that people are getting inspired by Geoff and Voiceplay, and I completely understand that. But when it comes to originality, it dies. Hear me out. So there was, I can't remember exactly which cover it was, but it was like right after they had released, I think it was like a mini or something, and then all of a sudden it was like everybody and their dog was doing a cover of it, and I'm like, come on. Like, I'm like, I get, but also I think I have to blame the YouTube algorithm too, because it's like they're feeding to all of these younger artists, and then sometimes some of them are good and some of them are like, bleh. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, just come on. It's like, do your own original idea, but maybe do it with a different song. Like, don't do it directly right after Voiceplay has done it. It's like, give their moment to shine. You know, unfortunately, some of those other ones that are just like shorts or minis get more of the views and more of the attention. So it's like, ugh, stupid YouTube tube algorithm. Anyway, that was Icy Fire. You're probably going to see a lot of the captures on the video itself here. I kept them wide. I didn't do close-up shots, only because it just fits my screen a whole lot better. Yeah, there's Icy Fire for you. Go check it out. Oh my god, go check out Ed Sheeran's version. And support Geoff on Patreon, guys. Support Geoff and Voiceplay on Patreon. They're doing amazing stuff. I can't give them enough credit. Yeah, they're just amazing, amazing people. So thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing, leaving comments. I read all of them. And of course, your guys' support is what keeps this podcast going and what keeps me doing these videos. So you guys are making me continue to do this. And of course, huge shout out to Voiceplay and Geoff for making great stuff that I can talk about. So, because, I have no other meaning of life. So, might as well talk about great acapella. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.